Volcanoes erupt ash and lava when pressure builds up inside. Okay, hot ash and lava are ejected from volcanoes, sometimes traveling thousands of kilometers away before settling back on the ground or at sea. When the ash and lava cool, the new rock layer makes the earth a little bit thicker there. Okay, so that's how it's building up up the earth. Okay, and again, we should have to think about what a volcano does. At the center of the earth, we have a warm, like a very hot core. Okay? That hot air, it's hot air, it's lava, a bunch of different things. But when all of that works together and gets too hot, it looks for places to escape. And that's what a volcano provides. Okay? Provides space for the heat to escape. All right. So let's look at lesson 3. I feel like is this a picture? I can't remember.
It's an invisible picture.
Oh, I think that's the picture of our volcano model, right?
Oh yeah,
It's not showing up.
I remember that.
Yeah, we put that in yesterday. I wonder why that's not showing up.
Try to refresh the page and maybe it will show.
Get rid- I'll put our picture back in. May have been that I moved it too many times. Yes, there it is. Great. Thanks, Lloyd. Good suggestion. All right, because we wanted our graphic of the different parts. Okay. Now, as we get closer to the exam, we might say, oh, we need to know what all these different pieces do. Okay, or we may decide we need to memorize. Okay, where all the pieces show up. We'll talk about that as we get closer. Okay. And then we're going to look at lesson 3, which is on glaciers. Okay, I'm going to make my title just a touch bigger. Just one bigger, not very big.
Let's make it 100 times bigger.
You can make it as big as you want, right? When you're doing your notes. My only thing is I don't want to take up too much space, but I do want it to be recognizable as being important. Okay. Now we can also draw different or another arrow to describe what glaciers do. Okay, if we consider those to be constructive or destructive. Okay, what do you think? Where would you classify a glacier? As constructive or deconstructive?
Deconstructive?
Both, because like
Yeah.
working things out.
They can change. Yeah, so I think glaciers could fall into both categories. Have glaciers shaped the earth? Yes, they have. Because remember, they are like the bulldozer, right? They're the part that gets pushed by gravity or pulled by gravity. It scrapes the ground and it changes the shape of things. Okay, so it's absolutely a constructor, but it can also be deconstructive as well because it can break things down that it itself can break down, right? So it can change for sure. All right. So glaciers. All right. So glaciers. I'm going to go into that lesson. And just see what was there for important information. Okay, let's do something a little different. I'm going to go into the article. Oh, maybe it won't. There it goes. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go into the article and I'm going to take a screenshot of information. Okay, instead of typing out this time, I'm going to take the image. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my notes. Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to do my snipping tool that I have.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take the information and I'm gonna paste it into the lesson.
Is that legal?
No, because I'm just making notes. This isn't work. Remember that your notes, right? Your notes are not something you're submitting for marks, right? These are a tool that you are creating for yourself at a later date. Okay?
So we can do whatever we want.
So if you cut, yeah, as long as it's gonna be a valuable tool for you, yeah, design it how you want, okay? So I just took a screenshot of some information that's important, okay?
Like we can turn the entire whiteboard here yellow, maybe?
You could make the background yellow if you want, but would that provide you any value?
No.
For some people it might, because reading off of yellow might be easier for some people, okay? But don't do it just for the sake of doing it, right? Make sure the things you do have value. Okay, so let's summarize this article, or this paragraph. I want you to think about this in your own words. This says glaciation occurs when snow freezes. Glaciers are created when more snow falls in winter than can be melted during the following summer. As snow builds up, the glacier becomes heavy and turns the bottom layer into ice. Once the glacier is heavy enough, gravity pulls it down towards or outward. This causes rock underneath the glacier to be broken, weathering and carried away with meltwater, which is erosion. Okay? So I want you to think about that. So what is our process? How is a glacier made? Okay? So how is a glacier made after you read that paragraph? Okay, Alex?
It occurs when like more snow falls on. So if not all the snow melts the following summer, then more snow will come on. It will harden the old snow, and then it just keeps going and going and going.
All right. So let's think about let's put this in. So first we get snow. Okay? Number 2, snow does not melt.
The word of ice.
Okay? We get more snow. The fact that we've gotten more snow, what does it do?
Ice.
Piles,
It is going to pile up
and it's gonna turn
and
into
it's going to cause
Ice.
ice. Okay? So it's really the pressure and lack of air that's created. So pressure, we should really use the pressure. And lack of air to cause layers. Make ice. Okay. Okay. So, does a glacier form in one season?
no, never.
No. Okay. Here to be created. Lloyd?
It could take various amounts. It could take a night. It could take days. It could take months. It
can happen very quickly. Okay? And that's because with global warming and things like that, a lot of glaciers are losing their size. Okay? All right. So, Imogen. Yeah.
I discovered yesterday. I think it was yesterday. There was a glacier that isn't receding, isn't breaking apart, but is actually forming more.
Yeah. Which one? Which one were you researching?
It's the Hubbard Glacier in Alaska.
Yeah, in Alaska. That's right. Yeah. So that's one of the rare ones that is still getting bigger. So that's a good example of one that's still growing. Yeah, so that one's still growing. Okay, so that's a good thing. The most famous one, for Canada is in Alberta, and it's receding very heavily. It is, and it's more just famous because it was a glacier that got trapped on land. So that's pretty neat. Like everything around it did melt, and it stayed as a big, huge glacier. But now it's getting smaller and smaller. Yeah. So, and that's of course just because our temperatures are getting warmer, right? So that's one of the things. And as it melts, it does melt into different bodies of water. It's like one of the things that feeds the water into some of these large lake and stream systems. But someday it may be gone completely. All right, let's see what else is in the glacier lesson. All right, so it says moving glaciers scrape up materials from the mass of ice and deposit them as glacial landforms. Okay, so we've kind of talked about that already. So now the questions give us a little bit of guidance. Okay, so we have explained how a glacier is formed. Okay, we didn't put any notes about how it moves, so maybe I'll add that. That's in the notes. So maybe I might underline that just as something important. So it says once the glacier is heavy enough, maybe I'll highlight it actually.
With global warming, can any new glaciers form, or not?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is absolutely still possible for us to have more.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, like it's not completely lost or anything like that. An example is that the one that you researched in Alaska, like the fact that is still getting bigger. Okay. It's obviously helpful that it has a base, but in that particular area, if that glacier wasn't already there, it's quite likely that something would have formed there. Okay.
I think I understand what you're
Yeah. So it's already there, so it's getting bigger. But if it wasn't there, it would probably start, right? Like a new one would start
saying.
based on everything that's happening. Yeah. All right.